Previously on Cancer Diaries.
So I was scheduled for a biopsy, and I remember at that time there was a friend of mine who had also been diagnosed with cancer a month before. So I called her, and then she told me, don't worry about a biopsy, it's something actually very minor. They'll just prick you with a needle, get some specimen, and then everything would be okay. After the biopsy, I was now feeling like I had 2 lumps on my breast. PRISCA, I have some good news and some bad news for you. The bad news is you have cancer.
Jerry, I'm sick, I have cancer.
I actually cried and fell asleep. So even here I'm thinking to myself, today I'm having 2 boobs, tomorrow I'll have 1.
You have cancer and are uncertain about the future. You are scared, and it is okay to be scared. That is the beginning of your strength. You are stronger than you know, braver than you realize. Your disease does not define you. Your story serves to inspire those living with the disease, and you redefine living with cancer. And that is why we celebrate you. Cancer may have started this fight, but you are going to finish it. PRISCA's story continues. A story of never giving up. A story of daring to sail uncharted waters. A story of daring to walk tall despite all odds. My name is Yvonne Kalahi, and this is Cancer Diaries. Diagnosed with HER2 positive breast cancer and experiencing excruciating pain in her breast, PRISCA packed her bags and boarded the night bus from Kampala, Uganda to Nairobi, Kenya. She needed to see a doctor, fast. PRISCA went into surgery, a surgery that she and her family prayed fervently would beat the cancer that was threatening her life.
So now when I went in, the surgery did not take the 2 hours. It took long. I think it took like 6 hours or something.
The last time I remember, inakwanga, if operation is 2 hours, it's 2 hours. Not more, not less. We stayed there till 9, no signs. Her friends are calling me because they knew I'm the one with her at the hospital. What will I tell them? Do I know anything? No. So finally, after debating, me, Mbogo and Shiro, we just said, let's go home.
PRISCA underwent a major surgery that took longer than the 2 hours the doctor had told her. And yes, she missed her favorite Mexican soap opera.
By the time I came out, I was wheeled now to the recovery room, to my bed, now to the hospital bed. And it took long before I could wake up. And finally I woke up. And then I woke up and you're still drowsy, you still cannot speak very well. I told the nurse, by the way, there are 2 kids, my kids. I call them my children, they're all my children, I've brought them up. They're waiting for me, please just tell them I'm okay now and they can go home. Then she told me, we actually told them to go and they left around 9.
It was a long night for PRISCA's family. What news would they be waking up to?
Basically, I remember that day I woke up very early. By 6 I was up because I think I got to sleep at the end of the night. So I went to the hospital and I remember I was shaking.
By I think around 9 o'clock, now at least I'm awake. Then I'm told you have a visitor. Then it was my niece now, Jerry, my other caregiver. So she had come. So she's like, I could see this girl had not slept the whole night.
Seeing her on that bed really made me emotional. She couldn't move, a lot of pain. And I was like, oh my God, what is this now? Is she going to survive it? And then when she saw me, she's like, oh, niaje, kwani amkupigia? And she's just making fun. And I'm like, I'm the one who should be stronger than you, not the other way around. Are you serious? And then I'm like, no, mi sikupigiwa na Mbogo. Akaniambia, no, nilitoka, but it was too late. But I was asleep, but thank God you're okay. So that's when I started texting back the friends and calling them back, and I'm telling them she's okay.
PRISCA was lucky to have a supportive family. They did not disappoint. Like most families should do, they gathered around her bed and offered her the much-needed emotional support.
We could cook the food, we carry it, take it to the hospital, sit her down, let her eat her food. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't easy at all. That's when the family members came, my dad and all, the sister, my aunt. She had to travel all the way from Kisii. You can imagine the love you have for her. And we just met up, all of us. I remember that was the first time I saw my dad crying. And I was like, oh my God, you're so crying. Because he went and hid. And was pretending to be very strong for her sister, but I knew, you're not a strong man, you're crying.
Even strong men cry, especially if one of their loved ones, a younger sister, is fighting for her life.
I was looking so pale and not even black, blue and pale. I looked like I'm gone or I'm going, you know. In our family, we were 6. And already 3 people had gone. So I think maybe he was looking and he's like, oh dear, my small, I'm the last boy, my small sister maybe.
PRISCA was in hospital for 1 week. A week where she tried all she could to stay strong and get back on her feet as soon as possible.
So that was my journey, at least up to the hospital time. I stayed in the hospital for 1 week. In the meantime, I'm trying to walk around. Then I have this thing I'm holding here with some fluid. So it's just coming from now where they had removed the breast, and it's trying to clean the fluid from the body. So you have to keep on walking with it. So everybody who came to see me would try and escort them slowly, at least just to walk around.
PRISCA's treatment had just begun. The first phase was done. She now needed to find a doctor who would continue with the next phase of her treatment, a good oncologist.
I've been praying still and trying, just telling God, direct me to a good oncologist, because I really don't know where to go. And they also need to be on the panel of AR, who are our medical provider where I was working at the time. So I asked Dr. Jumba, by the way, I'm sure you know some of these oncologists. I'm sure you work with them. Can you recommend me one? Then he tells me, yeah, there is one. She's called Dr. Gladwell Carey. I think she would be a good person for you to see.
After 1 week in hospital, PRISCA was discharged. She was ready to go home. And there, another challenge awaited her.
Now, in the meantime, now I've come from the hospital, I've come home. The most difficult thing for me was that I could not sleep. In fact, I remember I had surgery in May, and I think the next time I can say I really slept well was, I think, in December. So I could not sleep. So I'm in bed, I'm feeling so much pain. So I'm just lying on my back. I don't know whether everybody feels the same pain, but me, I was in pain. So I'm just lying on my back. Then I could call my niece, she has to move me. So in the meantime, you're also so frustrated. So you know, you're like relying on everybody for everything. I can't even bathe myself. You know the way now you bathe and I can't even do that. I'm just relying on people for everything. So it was really a frustrating, and I'm not used, I'm so independent. So it was really a frustrating moment for me.
I was with her this journey every day, and I really thank God because she gave me the strength I needed.
So my niece now was sleeping in the same room, so she has to be around there to try and turn me, tell her, put for me many pillows here, you know, just support me, and it was really not a very good time for me.
And now the real journey had begun for PRISCA. A journey that would require a lot of financing if she was to successfully complete the race. This was not going to be easy.
Finally now, after the 3 weeks, we went to Dr. Carey's. And the first time I didn't get her, I saw one of the other doctors she was working with, Dr. Mureithi. So he's the one I talked to. I presented the results. And then, of course, now the first thing they also do is send you now for further tests. You have to go for various scans just to see whether the cancer has gone to the rest of your body. So, I mean, all these things they're writing for you. You have to go for a bone scan. You have to go, I don't know, many things. You have to go for all those things. So now that is when now the journey started, I think. Because the journey with the hospital started that time. All these tests, all these x-rays, all these many things. So we started now, we went, they did the bone scan, they did all these MRI scans, they did CT scans, they were looking at everything. And then, after that, now they tell you we still cannot come up with a treatment plan until we know how things are.
Luck was on PRISCA's side. The cancer had not spread to her bones. The doctors could now make a treatment plan for PRISCA.
So fortunately for me, and I really thank God, because it's really not fortunately, but thank God, the cancer had not spread like to my bones or anything. So everything else was fine. In the meantime, now I'm beginning to understand things better. The first time Dr. Mokobera was telling me, if things were just getting in and out, so I could not even understand what he was telling me. So in the meantime, now I'm trying to understand. So the doctor is telling me about the triple positive, trying to explain, telling me that the treatment plan, how it's going to be.
So what is a treatment plan? A treatment plan is detailed information about a patient's disease, the goal of treatment, treatment options for the disease, possible side effects, and the expected length of treatment. A treatment plan may also include information about how much the treatment is likely to cost and about regular follow-up care after treatment ends. It is important that the treatment plan is discussed between you, the patient, and your doctor before treatment begins. Women diagnosed with HER2 positive breast cancer tend to be younger and are less likely to use hormone replacement therapy than women diagnosed with other types of breast cancer. Making lifestyle choices that may reduce your overall risk of breast cancer include a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, fish, poultry, and low-fat products may lower breast cancer risk. Being overweight, especially if you gain the weight as an adult, may raise your risk of developing breast cancer. Doing moderate exercises may lower your breast cancer risk. Drinking too much alcohol may raise your risk for most breast cancers. Breastfeeding may reduce your risk for breast cancer. What treatment plan have the doctors prepared for PRISCA? Find out when Cancer Diaries returns.